WCBI News at 10 starts now.
3 people are killed in a morning crash this Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Scott Martin. The Mississippi Highway Patrol says it happened on Interstate 59 southbound near mile marker 39 in Pearl River County. 5 vehicles were involved. Troopers say it appears that a Dodge Caravan was driving northbound in the southbound lanes of I-59. That Caravan then hit 2 cars head-on, causing a chain reaction crash involving 2 more vehicles. Troopers say 3 drivers were pronounced dead on the scene. 4 other people in the vehicle taken to an area hospital with minor injuries. MHP continues to investigate the cause of that crash. Well, another tragic crash in Monroe County. It happened this afternoon on Highway 45 alternate near Lenore Loop. Troopers say that an 18-wheeler and SUV were driving south in the southbound lane when they collided. 42-year-old Brandy Bishop of Aliceville, Alabama, is who troopers say died in that crash. She was pronounced dead on the scene. The Mississippi Highway Patrol is also still investigating that crash. New tonight at 10 o'clock, a Knoxville County inmate who escaped earlier this week is back in custody. 20-year-old Daryl Jamal Harper was arrested in Benton County today. He jumped the fence at the Knoxville County Community Work Center facility back on Tuesday. Harper was set to be released in just a few weeks. Now, this is the second inmate in less than a month that an inmate has escaped from that MDOC-run facility. Well, Lowndes County District 2 firefighters were busy this Thanksgiving afternoon after a house fire. Fire crews were called to this home here, 58 Swartz Drive, this afternoon around 3:30. That fire was contained to the kitchen area. Fire crews on scene say it was likely a grease fire. Thankfully, everyone was able to make it out safely. Well, time now to get a first look at our Thanksgiving evening forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Yeah, right now we're clear. Not too bad out there. Temperatures cooling down into the upper 30s to low 40s. That bright full moon rising earlier this evening. The full beaver moon out there all night long. We do have some clouds back to the west. You can see them here with the satellite. Those will overspread our area later tonight and tomorrow, but right now we are clear. Now, speaking of tomorrow, your Friday, if you're out and about doing some things, maybe some shopping, most of the day is going to be dry, but by the evening, we do envision some rain showers around here. Temperatures for the most part in the 50s. Winds from the southeast increasing at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So a little bit different tomorrow with the increased wind and some additional cloud cover. Again, rain comes in late. I'll be back with your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks very much, Keith. Well, hundreds showed up this morning at Stokes Spirit Elementary to either eat or volunteer. Now, for almost 3 decades, many locals and several organizations have worked to help and prepare Thanksgiving meals. Now, all these meals are to help go out to the elderly and less fortunate here in the area. Now, all of this started 24 years ago, and it was a lot different than it is now. The plate count started out with just about 50 plates, and get this, it has grown to nearly 2,000. Each to-go box is packed away with turkey, dressing, and all of the Thanksgiving fixings.
Oh, we started in our own personal kitchen with 1 turkey. And you just shared what you had, you know, and it was just, we were right in our neighborhood, and we stayed, I live on the south side of town, and we basically did it in our, it was territorial at that time, we did it in our neighborhood.
Now, it didn't take long before the meals started being delivered citywide, and with the expansion came dozens of volunteers and organizations, including the Mississippi State women's basketball team and area city leaders. Well, no parent is prepared to hear that their child has cancer. This summer, one Starkville family learned their 18-month-old had a form of pediatric cancer. The good news is she's now cancer-free. TJ and Joy Bradford sat down with me to share their journey with the hopes of helping someone else that is walking in the same shoes. She doesn't know it now, but little Reagan was diagnosed with what could have been a deadly cancer. Her mom, Joy, was at work when her husband had to make the gut-wrenching phone call.
TJ called me and he said it's cancerous. And it was the toughest thing we've ever walked through.
That moment felt like the hardest punch in the gut that you could imagine.
It took multiple office visits before doctors finally learned Reagan had B-cell lymphoma.
I was just asking God, I was like, how is this possible? this is not real life. I was screaming like, this is not real life. This is not possible. How is this our life?
Emotions flooded Joy and TJ. Faithful believers, the two were embarking on their toughest battle, spiritually, physically, and mentally.
You have anger, you have fear, you have just uncertainty, and it's a disorienting experience is what it's like.
Leaning on faith, the Starkville family was faced with another challenge. Doctors feared the cancer was in her blood.
We were just praying and believing. We was like, okay, God, this changes nothing about you. This does not change who you are. This does not change, what we believe. So we need you to come through.
And that's exactly what happened. The cancer was concentrated to the mass on Reagan's ear.
It let me know that the Lord is like, I'm with you. I'm with you. I promised you. He promises he'll never leave us or forsake us. And
It was a hard mountain for them to climb, but their faith never wavered as Joy leads other believers in worship at Life Church.
Believe that the God that we serve is the God who he says he is. Either we believe him or we don't. We have faith or we won't.
They want others to know their mountains can be moved too.
It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be upset. But that doesn't change who God is.
That's right.
It doesn't change anything about God.
faith is a blind thing. So you're not seeing naturally all the time what God's doing in the background. So
Now, Reagan is still undergoing treatment, and she'll have to for the next 2 years. The Bradfords want you to reach out to them, though, if you're going through something like this, so they can offer some encouragement. You can reach them at bradfordfamily1107@gmail.com.
Thanksgiving is coming to a close, but what's in store for the rest of this long holiday weekend? I'll have the details in your full forecast coming up next.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Lots of sunshine today in Vernon. This is our health insurance time lapse. Let's put this in motion. You can see the setting sun at Durham's Pharmacy. What a great day we had. Hopefully you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Now, it's hard to believe that Thanksgiving has come and basically it's gone. And now the next holiday up is going to be Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, then New Year's, and then the holiday season's over. So, Scott, it's ticking down. Get ready for it. Temperatures right now into the upper 30s, low 40s around here. Now look at New York, 18, 16 in Boston. Yikes, really cold up there, but it's actually warmer in Omaha at 50 than it is in New York City right now in Boston. So extremely interesting to see the temperature trend. Now we will stay above freezing into the weekend and for early next week. Some of that cooler air will come on back down here, so several nights below freezing again once we get past this holiday weekend. Right now we're mainly clear, but notice the clouds back to the west. There is some rain there, and by this time tomorrow night we will have rain in our area. Mainly clear tonight. We've dropped down to probably about as cold as we're going to be into the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow morning around 40 degrees at 7:52 at noon, 57 at 3. The winds start to increase from the southeast, and by the afternoon and evening 10 to 15, so it will be breezy tomorrow. And again, as we get into the evening after sunset, showers become more likely. But during the daylight hours here, we do envision a fairly dry day for the most part. Temperatures in the 50s, a little bit cooler than what we had today. Not as sunny with those clouds building on in. But overall, during the daylight, I think we should be doing quite well, at least as far as the weather situation. But by the evening, high school football, notice the showers. Temperatures around 50, though, so a mild end to the season here locally with the playoff games. You can see the clouds building on in with Futurecast. By the evening, there comes the rain. Most of that's going to be done by Saturday morning. We'll thin out the clouds a little bit as we get into Saturday afternoon. There'll be another front, though, right here. That will slip on through the area on Sunday. We may squeeze out a few showers, but colder air behind it will be the big story after this holiday weekend. So pushing 70 Saturday and Sunday, Scott, but 50 or 49 early next week.
Well, lines are starting for Black Friday shopping. Coming up a little later in the show, how many people are expected to be on the lookout for those hot deals? Stay with us.
WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. As we enter into the holiday season, we can most likely expect colder temperatures. We learn how to keep food safe in the cold weather in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Libby Walker, the Morrison Director of Food and Nutrition at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Tonight I want to talk to you about how to pack a safe school lunch for your child. Bacteria that cause foodborne illness, commonly known as food poisoning, grow rapidly at temperatures between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. In just 2 hours, these microorganisms can multiply to dangerous levels, which can cause foodborne illness. Follow these tips to make sure the lunches and snacks you pack for your child are safe. Wash your hands with warm water and soap for at least 20 seconds before and after handling food. Rinse fruits and vegetables under running tap water. Blot dry with a paper towel before packing them in your child's lunch. Select an insulated box or bag big enough to hold 2 cold sources inside to keep your food safe. Make sure it is easy to clean both inside and out. If the lunch snack contains perishable food items like luncheon meats, eggs, cheese, or yogurt, make sure to pack it with at least 2 cold sources. A frozen juice box or bottle of water can be used along with a frozen ice pack. If packing a hot lunch like soup, use an insulated container such as a thermos. Fill the thermos with boiling water, let stand for a few minutes, empty, and then put in the piping hot food. If you pack the child's lunch the night before, leave it in the refrigerator overnight with the lid or bag open. It will stay colder longer. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Mississippi State dominating in the 2018 Egg Bowl and taking the golden egg back with them to Starkville. See the highlights coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Well, it's the moment that we've all been waiting for all season long, and in a predominantly one-sided game, the Golden Egg has been acquired for the next 364 days. Ole Miss having its final game of the season and ready to roll. Willie Gay in Mississippi State, they want that Golden Egg back. Gay making the first big play to start things off in this game. Jordan Tamu stripped by Jeffrey Simmons. The Starkville native right there for the recovery. Bulldogs would get in plus territory early. Leads to some points. Kylan Hill punching it in for the first touchdown of the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State going up 7-zip. Caps it off with the jam. End of the first quarter, the Bulldogs would be driving. Nick Fitzgerald on the QB keeper picks up a 20-yard gain. The beginning of a big day for Fitzgerald. We'll see a little bit more of that early in the second. Fitzgerald on the QB keeper, and the touchdown gets in, gets up 14-0 Mississippi State in the second quarter. Celebrating all day long. We'll see the best drive of the day for Ole Miss though. On 4th down, Jordan Tamu finds Dawson Knox for the first down, but would end in only a field goal, and that'd be it for Ole Miss in the first half. But not for the Bulldogs. No, Kylan Hill breaks one for 30 yards. Mississippi State getting across the 50, and Joe Moorhead says, hey, let's step on the gas, let's keep going with this. Fitzgerald slings one left to Stephen Guidry. A nice connection there for a 15-yard gain. And right before halftime, Fitzgerald sends one to Dedrick Thomas. He gets a touchdown in the end zone. It'd be 21-3 at the half. The Bulldogs just leading and rolling. It was all the Bulldogs in the first half, and that would continue on in the third quarter. Things really wouldn't change. Nick Fitzgerald on the keeper here, takes it around the side and gets it just in there. Shoves in a little bit. It's almost, not that they wanted him to get in, trying to get him out, but kind of got him in there. It would make it 28-3 for the Bulldogs, and a little bit later on, Matt Corral sends it to A.J. Brown. A great connection as he works his way into the end zone for the TD. But although it looks like it's going to be good here, they're kind of fighting over it and fighting for it and just fighting all over, and it would kind of continue on. Things start to heat up a little bit. We can see tensions obviously being raised, and all the emotions start to fly, and then all of a sudden Jonathan Abrams starts to get up in A.J. Brown's face, smacks him, and it'd be a domino effect from there. I mean, would it be an Egg Bowl if there wasn't some sort of a tussle or two? But this was a big one. You could say that the Egg Bowl was lit in this one. C.J. Moore, Cam Dantzler, Jamal Peters, and Willie Gay all ejected from the game. The touchdown would end up being called back, but wouldn't matter. The Golden Egg is headed back to Starkville. The final score 35-3, an absolutely great and dominating performance from the ranked Bulldogs. Let's check in on some final stats. Mississippi State 35, Ole Miss 3, the final score. Looked that way all game long. The only game changer would have been that touchdown called back. Another game changer, Matt Luke was talking about this a little bit in his press conference. We'll see if we can get some of those for you coming up in the next couple of days. But these 3 turnovers gave Mississippi State way too much of an opportunity. One of those for sure would have been a touchdown, if not for the interception in the end zone. A tragic way for Ole Miss to end their season, but Mississippi State with 309 yards rushing, Ole Miss only 37, a very big deficit there. And Fitzgerald, 111 yards passing, Ole Miss between Corral and Tamu, 152 yards passing. So a great game for Mississippi State all around, but not how the Rebels were hoping to end the 2018 season. Hopefully next season they'll get some more wins. But like every big win for any team, the celebration follows it. The 91st battle for the Golden Egg. The Bulldogs celebrating around and raising it up high in all of its golden glory. The game was seriously just a Thanksgiving feast for the Bulldogs. A comeback for Nick Fitzgerald and that injury. What a way to end the season, and what a way for the Mississippi Bulldogs to go out. That's going to be it for sports. Your last look after the break. Stick with us.
All right, those Black Friday deals already underway. However, Black Friday is officially in just about an hour and a half, and get this, analysts say 164 million shoppers are expected to be hunting for those deep discounts this weekend.
I will not be one of those people.
Me neither. I'm going home and going to bed.
Me too, and I'll be working tomorrow. You too.
I'll be here again tomorrow. Hope everyone have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you tomorrow.